Good to know. So I want my AR-15. I got to wait for a registration certificate or transfer. It has to be transferred at the firearm center, so I don't get to take it home right away. But not only do I need a registration certificate, I also need yet another piece of paper. I need an authorization to transport. So the government has given me a PAL with restricted. They check my criminal record check every day. They know they can search my home at any time, but I cannot still be trusted to go from my home to the shooting range without another piece of paper. With that piece of paper, that makes me okay. Without that piece of paper, I'm not okay. So let's talk about that for a second. Here is the package that I have to carry around with me when I go from my home to the range to shoot my guns. Here it is. Look at this. There it all is. If I forget my package of, see, I got 4 packages to make sure I never forget. I'm doing everything I possibly can to comply. But if I forget one sheet of this, my ATT or the registration for the certificate for the firearm that I'm actually transporting, if I forget one piece of paper, let's find out what happens. Do I get a fine? Maybe I get my gun seized and I gotta go get it? Let's have a look. Every person who stores, displays, transports, or handles any firearm in a manner contrary to the storage, display, transportation, and handling of firearms by individuals regulation, they like the long names, is guilty of an indictable offense and liable to imprisonment. In the case of a first offense, a term not exceeding 2 years. 2 years. In the case of a subsequent offense, a term not exceeding 5 years. I'm in contravention if I don't have that piece of paper. I'm in contravention if I don't get an ATT. 5 years? And what if you say, well, Rod, you know, if you're, let's say you're a criminal defense lawyer, they'd never give you 2 years on a first offense, dude. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. They know that you're an instructor for the program. You're the one that's upholding all these laws and making sure that everybody else complies and that they know the law. Well, let's see. Guilty of an offense punishable on summary, because that's what they give to good guys. $2 grand in 6 months. Well, I'll tell you this. If I got 6 months in jail right now, it would destroy my life. Destroy. I'd lose my house, my job, my family, everything. I have a criminal, like I'd have a firearm charge on my record. Convicted criminal. And what happens in the real world is, I may not have the $20,000 to defend myself, to not go to jail. And the Crown says, hey, well, we charge everybody. This is what we do. And you know what? We'll let you off with no prison time if you just plead guilty. So it's an appealing choice for me, because I'm like, okay, 20 grand, bankrupt me, maybe 50 grand, depending on the situation, right? Am I going to go bankrupt, or do I just take this charge? They're going to give me no prison time and say a 5-year firearm prohibition, so they'll destroy my guns. And I may have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of guns. And prohibit me from ever even shooting a gun, having a gun in my hand. For what? For not having a piece of paper. So it's crazy. So how do I get this piece of paper? Another interesting point. To get an ATT, I have to have a valid PAL, possession and acquisition license. I have to have my firearms license. Then I have to join a shooting club and keep that membership up at all times. Usually around $200 a year is what that costs. Then I take the membership card and I send it to the firearm center, and they issue me an ATT, which can be revoked at any time, which I have to renew every 5 years if I forget, again, in contravention of all